Hi everyone, good morning.
Good morning, Ramusu.
Good morning, Hari. What is your last class?
I'll we
Sorry?
do post installation steps today.
Yeah. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
What is the start and stop procedure of my SAP system? Okay. And one more point is, we need to do a post steps right now. Post steps. All the post steps not able to cover in one class. Okay. It's not possible because what are the topics we have in our course content? What are the topics we have in our course content? Okay, each topic we considered as a post step. Okay, for example, STMS configuration. This is also one post step. Okay, client administration means how to create a client, what is a client, okay, how to do a client copy. This is one topic, so this is also one of the post step. And SAP license, this is one topic, this is one post step. Okay, like that we have a topic wise, and these all are, it's not possible to cover in one class. Okay, slowly we will cover all one by one. Okay, and what is my procedure of start and stop my SAP system? This is a start sequence, and if I want to start or stop my SAP system, to which user ID I need to log in first at OS level? Any idea? At OS level, which user ID I need to log in?
SID ADM.
SID ADM is my user. With that user, I can log in with at SAP at operating system level. What is the use of SID ADM user? This is a SAP administration user ID, right? So what is our SID DEV? So what is my ID here? DEV ADM. This user ID I need to log in, right? Here I have logged in. This is my MMC. So you need to log in with DEV ADM, means SID ADM. Next, when you start your SAP, okay, when you start your SAP, the sequence is first database should be start. Next, central services instance should be start. Next, central instance should be start. Next, other instances. What is the meaning of other instances? Other instances is nothing but if you have any dialog instance, okay, those dialog instances can be start. Okay. First, my database should be start, and central services instance should be start, and central instance should be start, and next dialog instance. If you have any dialog instance configured, okay, this is the start sequence. Okay, and what is the stop sequence? Reverse. What is the stop sequence? First,
Dialog instance.
if any dialog instance is configured, those should be stopped first. Next, my central instance stop first. Central services instance stop next. Database should be stopped. This is the sequence of your start and stop of your SAP system. Okay? Got it?
Yes.
So now, when you start your SAP system, in the backend, what is happening? When you click on start or when you fire a command start SAP, then what will happening? One program will be start. What is that program name? SAP start SRV. Okay, this is one of the process, one of the service. Okay, SAP start SRV is a program. When you start your SAP start SRV program will start. Okay, it will read the profiles. We'll see this picture. See here, through MMC, when you start your SAP, this program will be executed by SID ADM. Okay, because you have logged in with the SID ADM, right? So through SID ADM, this program will be executed. SAP start SRV. So this program, how to know which SAP SID, which instance, which host name, what are the port numbers from SS server, NT server, okay, what services I need to start, where to start, how this program will know. This program will read this profiles here. We have profiles, right? OS level, SAP profiles we have at OS level, right? Do you know what are the profiles are there? Did we talk about the profiles?
No.
Okay. So there are SAP related profiles will be stored where at OS level. These will be created after your installation. Got it? After your installation. What are those profiles? First one is start profile. Second one is default profile. Third one is instance profile. Okay, these are the three profiles will be stored at OS level. You will see what are those profiles. Okay. So my SAP start SRV will read the profiles. Based on the profile parameter values, it will start each and every service. Okay. And which service is started first? My message service will be started, right? Once message service has been started, then message service will have a information about the dispatcher. So the next service dispatcher will be start. Once dispatcher has been started, okay, and how many work processes are there and what are the work processes need to be start? How can my SAP start as we can know? Using with the default and instance profiles, okay, using with the default and instance profiles, the remaining work processes will be start. Because how many work processes are there? Number of work processes, the list will be stored in instance profile. The list will be stored in instance profile. Okay. Just 1 second. 122. 36. Right. So the list of work processes information will be stored in the instance profile, right? So next it will start the, it will connect to the, so the work processes will connect to the my database process. Got it? Any doubt here? And what is the sequence of profile? This is one of the interview question. What is the sequence of profile? Means which profile it will read first. Which profile it will read first. When your SAP has been started, which profiles it will read first? First of all, it will read my start profile.
Hi,
First of
Ramu.
all, it will read my, hi.
I am just connected, Ramu. This WhatsApp message
Inside?
yeah. The meeting
Okay, okay,
ID.
no problem. Just we started.
Okay.
We are discussing this screen. What is the start and stop procedure of your SAP? When you start your SAP system, which instances need to be start first? When you stop your SAP system, which instances need to be stopped? The sequence we are discussing. If you're talking about the start, first database should be start, next central services instance should be start, next central instance should be start, next other instances should be start. What is mean by other instances? Other instances is nothing but if you have any dialog instance. Okay, if you have any dialog instance configured, those are nothing but other instances. This is the start sequence. Okay. If you're talking about a stop sequence, reverse. First should be stopped. Other instances is nothing but a dialog instances should be stopped. Next CI should be stopped. Next central services instance should be stopped. Last database should be stopped. Got it?
Yeah.
To do start and stop procedure, we need to log in at operating system level with one of the user ID, SAP administrator user ID. What is that user ID? SID ADM. SID ADM user ID, we need to log in at OS level. Got it?
Yeah.
So now we are talking about SAP start SRV process. Okay, when you start your SAP, one program will be executed, one process will be executed. The process name is SAP Start SRV. This SAP Start SRV, first it will read the profile, start profile. Based on the start profile, it will start the message service first, and after that it will start the dispatcher. Okay, and after that dispatcher started, the remaining work processes need to be started. But as per SAP Start SRV, don't know how many work processes are there, how many work processes need to start, right? So those information it will get it from start profile. Not start profile. In this those work process information it will start it. It will read it from instance profile. Got it? Once this information has been got it from instance profile, then the remaining work processes will be started. This is what we are discussing. And whenever you started your SAP, what is the sequence of a profile? Sorry?
Sequence reading is start profile. First it reads start profile, then default profile, right?
It will read first start profile, it will read. After that, it will read default profile. After that, it will read the instance profile. So the sequence is SDI. SDI is nothing but start, default, and instance. Okay. This is one of your interview question. What is the sequence of profile when you start your SAP? Or you will get a question, when you start your SAP, which profile it reads first? Which profile it reads first? Start profile, right? After that, it will read default profile. After that, it will read instance profile. Okay?
What is this profile?
These are SAP related profiles. In these profiles, every information will be stored, like what are the profile name, what is the profile value. We will see what are the profile names are there in these profiles. Okay. Using this profile information, my SAP will run, my SAP will start, my SAP will execute. Okay. 7:30 presentation, press 1, screen reader, just settings. This folder is empty. We'll see the profiles. Where is the profiles? Where is the location of my profiles? Where my installation? What is my installation drive? E drive, right?
Yes.
E U S R U user USR SAP SID USR SAP SID sys profile, right? So what is the naming convention? See here. This is my start profile naming convention. Start underscore dvebmgs underscore 00 underscore hostname. Start underscore instance name underscore hostname. What is my start profile naming convention? Start underscore instance name underscore hostname. This is the naming convention of start profile. Next tab. Where is the default profile? Default .pfl. This is my default profile naming convention. Default .pfl. What is my instance profile? SID underscore instance name underscore hostname. SID underscore instance name underscore host name. So these are the naming conventions of my profiles. Okay, now we'll open and we will see the profiles. What are the profiles we have? So now what I am trying to install is SAP GUI. SAP GUI I am trying to install. What is the use of SAP GUI? Why I require to install? Any answer?
As well, to connect
Sorry?
Presentation layer.
Yes. If you want to connect my SAP ABAP stack, I required a SAP GUI, right? So this SAP GUI, we have two types mainly. SAP GUI for Windows, SAP GUI for Java. If you are using a Windows operating system, you need to download SAP GUI for Windows from Service Marketplace. If you are using any Unix flavors, you need to download SAP GUI for Java from Service Marketplace. Each and every SAP GUI will have a version with patch, with some patch level. Got it?
Yeah.
That's my presentation. Press 1. GUI, Windows, Win32. Here which one? SAP GUI setup. Okay? Or setup all. We will run this setup all. Yes. It's a front-end installer. It's a front-end tool. We call it as a front-end tool, SAP GUI, graphical user interface.
To start and stop SAP, the only connectivity is MMC.
Good question. If you are using Windows operating system, Once your installation has been done, you will get SAP MMC, right?
Yes.
So through SAP MMC, we can start and we can stop our SAP.
Yes.
If you are using Unix flavors, for example, Linux operating system I am using.
Okay.
Linux operating system, I don't have MMC. Then how can I start stop?
Okay.
Using commands, right?
Okay. Yeah.
What is that command name for your Linux operating system? Stop SAP, start SAP.
Okay.
This is the simple command. Stop SAP, start SAP. Stop SAP means it will stop database, central services. It will stop all what are the instances are there. Okay, central services instance, central instance, and database. All the instances will be stopped. Here, all the instances will be start.
Yeah.
Ram,
Okay. Yes.
what are the central service instances?
Sorry?
Message server, enqueue server. What are central?
Who is this?
Rajesh.
Central services instance. Central services instance is my message service and enqueue service.
Okay.
We have seen this picture, right?
Yes.
This is ABAP architecture. So, central services instance and ABAP level also we have a central services instance. If you are talking about a standalone Java stack, also we have a central services instance, right? So, AACS is nothing but ABAP instance, ABAP central services instance. Okay? It contains enqueue server and message server. ACS is nothing but ABAP SAP Central Services Instance. Okay. Since SAP NetWeaver 7.0, the message server and enqueue server work process has been separated from the central instance. Did you got this point? After NetWeaver 7.0 onwards, SAP what done? SAP has separated central services instance from central instance. Okay, these two are grouped within the ABAP central services instance. Did you got this point? ASCS. What is ASCS? From where it was separated?
Okay. Can we see this in MMC? Send.
We'll we'll see in the first we'll see in diagram. We will get an idea. See this. This is my ABAP stack, standalone ABAP stack. This message service, this enqueue service is included in my central instance, right?
Yeah.
This message service and enqueue service, I call it as a central services instance. Okay. So after NetWeaver 7.0, what SAP has done, message service and enqueue service has separated from the central instance.
Okay.
Got my point?
Yeah.
Now we will see. And that is ASCS. ASCS is ABAP Central Services Instance. That is related to ABAP stack only, ASCS. Okay. Now, what is SCS? SCS is ACE Java Central Services Instance. What are the services are there in SCS? My Java message service and Java enqueue service. Got my point?
Yes.
So now here, click next. What I required? This one, right? SAP GUI I required for Windows, right?
Yes.
Essentially not now. We'll take this. Click on next. Where it is installing by default? See, program files, SAP front end. It is creating one folder SAP. In that folder it is creating front end. In that it is going to install. What is my GUI version? GUI for Windows 7.40 is nothing but 740. We can call it as a 740. GUI 740. Okay?
Okay.
So this is my MMC. Expand this instances. See here. Message service and NQ service. What is one? One is nothing but a 0, 1. So left side 0, there is no value, right?
No.
So that's why it is displaying only single number. Okay, 0, 1. Where I have given a 0, 1 at the time of installation. The 0, 1, it is taken for central services instance.
Okay.
So this is my central services instance and the instance number is 0, 1 and the services are message service and NQ service. What is the 0? It's nothing but 0, 0. What is my 0, 0? It's a central instance number. Got my point?
Yeah.
See this ABAP work process table. WP means work process. ABAP work process table. See, how many dialog work processes I have?
10.
Total 10 dialog work processes I have. So minimum 2 is required, right? And how many background jobs I have? BTC is nothing but a background jobs. BTC, BTC, BTC. 3 background jobs I have. UPD, update work process. UPD2, update work process. We discussed, right? We have 2 different types of work processes update. Critical and non-critical, right?
Yeah, V1, V2, yes.
Yes, this is the V1 and this is the V2. And SPO, what is SPO?
What is full form of
Update.
Yeah. What is full form of BTC?
BTC is nothing but batch jobs.
Okay.
Batch. The batch jobs we call it as a background work process.
Okay.
What is SPO?
Spool.
Spool work process, right? And
Yes.
these are the numbering of my work process. These are the types. These are the PID. What is PID?
PID.
PID is nothing but process ID. Process ID. Each and every work process will have a process ID. And what is the status? This is main important. Status. Wait. Wait means what? What is the meaning of wait? Means the work processes are free now. Is ready to use.
Ready to accept user request.
Correct? Ready to accessible for user request. If any user request has been assigned, then it will be active or running. Correct?
Yeah.
For example, if all dialog work process, how many dialog work process I have? 10 dialog work processes, right? 0 to 9, total 10, right? If my 10 dialog work processes are occupied, can I log in into the system?
No.
Why?
For that also we required one dialog process for logging also.
So you are connecting through SAP GUI. So you are nothing but a front-end user, active user, right? For your active user, we required an active session. For active session, we required a dialogue or process. So there is no dialogue or process as of now. There is no free dialogue or process as of now. Correct? All my dialogue or processes has been occupied by user request. Right? So at that time, your system will be hang.
How many users will be occupied by one dialog?
Only one. Only one.
Not only one actually. See, whenever you logged in, it will not assign a dialogue or process. It will not occupy a memory. Okay, if you logged in, if you are not doing anything, just you have logged in simply, then it will not assign any memory. Okay, to your active session.
Okay.
Whenever you request any task, creation, modifications, updations, deletions, fetching a report, executing a report, then my dialog process utility will be started. Okay? If you simply log on, it will not happen anything.
So for example,
And
from each functional module, like 40 users will be accessing at a time.
yes,
How it manage, how it will handle?
it will handle based on a log on load distributions. Log on load distributions. Okay, we can create a log on groups. We will discuss in log on groups for topic.
Okay.
Based on the log on groups, the load will be distributed. What will assign, who will assign my user request to what process? Who will assign? My dispatcher, right? So my dispatcher will assign user request if there is any task is required to execute. Then my dispatcher will assign the request to the appropriate work process if it is a dialogue or background or batch or something else. Okay. In your case, if your dialogue processes are occupied by all the users request, then the server will be hanged. Why? Because I have only one instance only installed. Okay. At that time, what you need to do is you need to cross check at OS level and you need to kill some of the work processes who are running a long time or which work processes has been hanged. Okay, so those work processes we need to kill. But before kill the work process, we need to do some processes. We need to take care some information. Okay, we will discuss this information in daily health check activities. Okay, daily health check activities. We will discuss what are the issues, production issues will be occurred. This is one of the reason, one of the issue. All work processes are occupied, then what will happen? You got it?
Yeah.
Installation is still going on. Okay, so this is my profile location. What is my profile location? USR, SAP, SID, this profile, right? How many profiles are there? Start profile, default profile, and instance profile. We will open this start profile. What happened? So this is my start profile. See here, what is my system name? Means SID. What is my global host name? What is my SAP system? It means a instance number. What is my instance name? Right?
Yeah.
These all are profile parameters. These all are profile values. Directory CT run directory executables. Where is my directory executables? In exe folder. My executable, where is my executables? Exe, right? It's nothing but kernel.
Yeah.
Executables is nothing but my kernel, right?
Yes.
And where is my profiles / profile location? This is my start profile. Got it?
Okay.
Next we will see default profile. After start profile, it will read default profile, right?
Yes. The sequence also we need to be aware how it is starting.
Yes. You need to aware which profile it will read first.
Okay.
First start profile, next default profile, next instance profile. See here, this is my default profile.
While stopping also
Front-end
same.
installer complete. Hmm?
While stopping also the same sequence.
Start profile, default profile, instance profile. When it is starting, it will read the start profile. What are the instances need to start?
Yeah. Yeah.
After
While
that,
stopping-
default profile it will read. Okay.
Yeah,
After
yeah.
that,
Instance.
instance profile, right? So
Yeah.
while stopping your SAP system, what will happen is it's know already. My SAP system already know how many work processes need to start and message server need to start and dispatcher need to start. Everything has been started, right?
Okay.
So my SAP start SRV, stop SRV will be executed when you are stopping your SAP system. Then stop SRV what will do? It will read the instance profile, what are the, how many work processes are there, okay? And those work processes will be stopped. And after that it will read the default. After that it will read the start profile, the sequence, right?
Yeah. Okay.
This is my default profile. In default profile, see SAP database hostname and database type, database name, database schema, and J2E database host, J2E schema, DB name, RDISP/buffer mode, SAP message server for ABAP. This is my SAP message server. What is my message server port number? 39 instance number. Message server port number is 39 instance number. Central services instance of J2E. Central services instance number. J2E message service port 39, central service instance number 01. And login/system_client. Remember this parameter name. We will discuss later. This is important parameter name. Okay. Login/system_client is equal to what is this? 001. Okay. Login/system_client equals to 001. Remember this parameter name. We will discuss later. Start, default, and instance. This is my this is my instance. Okay. So this is my instance profile. See here, in instance profile, I have a work processes numbers, artist work process number dialog. How many dialogues I have?
10.
10 I have seen, right, in MMC.
Yes.
So here WP underscore NO underscore DIA is nothing but a dialog process. How many background work process? Okay, and J2 is start control. J2 is start, and NQ work process, update work process, and spool work process. Right? These all my instance profile. Okay?
Yeah. What is start control? Start underscore control.
Where is this?
Below background BTC. Below BTC.
J2E start control. This is one of the service, in Java stack, JLaunch process will start this controls, Java start control. Java start control. We will discuss in Java architecture. Means, see, we talk about this picture, we talk about ABAP stack, right? This picture.
Yeah.
Okay, same how the Java stack will have that picture. Means internally Java stack, how my Java stack internally is starting. There is one program will be called JControl program. Java start program. JControl is nothing but Java start control program.
Okay.
It will start some of the services like JLaunch service. Okay, we will discuss in that architecture.
Okay.
So these are the profiles I have, and if you want to change any profiles, you can change at OS level or you can change at SAP level. Both ways you can change it. But SAP best practice, whenever you are changing any profiles at OS level, first you need to take a backup of that profile. Got it?
Yes.
Take a backup of the profile and you can change the original profile. That is the best practice.
What is NWSS .1.2? Yeah.
These are not original profiles. Okay, whenever it was created, okay, it will create profile whenever it is reading. Okay, it will start it from .1, .2 is nothing but some backup files. Okay, if you see this, we'll try to open this. Notepad, always go. See here, same information only will be there,
Okay.
but the naming convention is .1, means this is it's a backup of this file. Okay, but we don't use these files. These are not original instance profile. This is only original instance profile.
Okay.
This is only original instance profile. So these profiles I can change it from operating system level, OS level. I can open, I can change it. But before changing, you need to take a backup of that profile, and then you can change it. And SAP level also we can change it. But in SAP level, when you're changing, you cannot take a backup of SAP level, right?
Yeah.
So that's why OS level, you need to take a backup, and SAP level, you can change it.
Yeah. Before any change, we need to stop SAP.
No, not
No
required.
need.
You
Okay.
see, what I'm trying to telling is, you can change your profile at OS level or at SAP level. SAP level, you are going to change in the sense your SAP is up and running, right? Then only you
Okay.
can log into the SAP, right?
Yeah, correct.
The logical, right?
Yes.
So SAP is running, I connect to the SAP, I'm changing my profile parameters. Means what? SAP is up and running.
Yeah.
So, but whenever you are changing any profile parameters, there are two types of profiles are there, static profile and dynamic profiles. What is a static profile? Whenever you're changing any profile parameters, you require a restart of your SAP system. Then only the profile value will be affected.
Okay.
What is mean by dynamic profile? Whenever you change any profile value, it will affect immediately. Means without restarting of SAP system, it will affect immediately.
Okay.
That is called dynamic profiles. Okay. For example, if you are trying to change from SAP level, once you change profile value in SAP level, it will give you one pop-up message. What is the pop-up message? You need to restart your application. Then only this profile will be affected. That pop-up message we will get it. Okay? Whenever you restarted your SAP, then only your profile value will be affected. Your profile has been created, your profile value has been changed, but it will not affect because you not restarted. For example, Monday I have created one profile name, or I have changed one profile. Okay, I have not restarted. Okay, next Monday I have changed, right? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So Friday I have restarted. What will happen from Monday to Friday? The profile value is not affected to my system. Simply it will display the name and value in profile. That's it. It will not affect to the system. When I restarted Friday, I restarted. After it restarted, the profile value will be affected. Got it?
Yes.
So see, this is my SAP GUI installation. SAP logon pad. This is my SAP logon pad. I have installed, right?
Yes.
So go to the start, programs, SAP front end, SAP logon. Click here, SAP logon. This is my logon pad. Got it?
Yeah.
So here I don't have any entries here.
Yeah.
If I want to connect my SAP, I need to create a entry. Okay?
Yeah.
For creation, you need to click here, create. This one, this symbol. New, right? Click on new. Go to next. Here description. Description is for your identification purpose. You can give any description. Okay? Development server. Application. Application means what is my server IP? What is my server IP?
172.175.36.
175.36 and 113, right?
Yeah, host name.
What is my instance number? No, IP.
Only IP.
What is my instance number?
00.
What?
00.
Yeah. What is my SID?
DEV.
Okay. Finish. Now entry came.
Yeah.
Now like that you can add any n number of entries here. If you have more servers, okay, you can create the entries here. Double click on that. Change.
You have to add the port colon.
What is that? What is that? Number
Uh,
3, 168. I think. Double 3 168. One 72, 173, 36. New exchange. One 3. Run CMD IP config. What is my IP?
168 10.167. 10.168. Okay.
10.168. Where is it?
First.
This one, right?
Yeah.
192, 168, 10, 168, right?
Yeah.
And mark it. See here, DEV, NWMSS, DEV is my SID, NWMSS is my host name. This is my host name. Okay. and client 001, it is asking me the password, username and password and language, right?
Yeah.
This
What
is
what
my
is the,
menu bar.
what is one in the bracket?
Sorry?
DV000 bottom.
Triple zero is a client. It's a one of the client. 000 is one of the client. This is my menu bar. This is my, here I can provide my transactions in this window. Okay, here I can provide my T codes. Using the T codes, I can work here. Got it?
Yeah.
So go here, 000, SAP star. What is my master password? English. See here, compiling. It is, see here. You are seeing this word, right? Compiling.
Yeah.
Compiling word. We'll talk about that. Why it is compiling. What does it mean by compiling in the general terms?
Uh, Building all the DLLs and executables, binary files.
Means in a general Java, .NET, the compilers are there, right? What will happen? For example, this is my programming code. I have written in one language, either Java, .NET, C, C++, or ABAP programming language. This is my program. It contains the number of lines, programming codes are there. Okay, these are the programming codes. First, what I need to do? I need to do a compilation of this my program. First, I need to do a compilation. For this, I require a compiler. My compiler, what will do? It will check the programming code, whether there is any syntax errors, whether there is any standard errors are there. Then my compiler, what will check? It will check, if it is, there is no programming errors, there is no standard errors, there is no syntax errors, then it will execute it successfully. Then my compilation will complete it successfully. Once my compilation has been successfully completed, then the program is ready to execute. Got it? There is a difference between compilation and execution. The compilation will check only syntax errors. The execution will execute your programming logic and it will give you the output. Got my point?
Yeah.
See, whenever you have logged in first time, it will give you the one message. What is that? SAP AG. AG is our SAP company name. Okay, and license expire on. When it is going to expire? 35/2017. We'll talk about the license.
What is the bracket one?
One is nothing but a one user and one active session.
Okay. And INS beside NWMSS.
INS. I need to check this. I don't know.
Okay.
I will check and let you know.
Okay.
See here, compiling is coming, right? Means every screen in the back end, they have a programming, right? So this is my, I have logged in, right? This is my session. So here I can execute my T codes, or I can using, this is a menu bar, favorites, not menu bar, this is a favorites. Here also, in favorites also, if you don't know the T code, if you don't know the transaction, if you know the favorite names, then you can execute using the favorite names. Okay, but T code is very simple compared to our favorites. /NSICK. Have we discussed about the /n, /o, /ex? Did we discuss?
Yes, we discussed.
Okay, this is my T code area. This is my T code area. What T code I have executed right now? What is the T code I have executed? SICK. SICK is nothing but, SICK is one of the T code. SICK. This will check installation check. Installation check T code. Means after your installation, we need to check SICK whether there is any installation errors are there. Okay, if it is any installation errors, it will give you errors here. If there is no errors reported. So SICK, it should be a, it should be show no errors required, no errors reported. Got it? This is my one of the transaction code, SICK. After your installation, after your upgrades, we need to cross check SICK transaction. All transaction codes write in one place, one notepad or one anywhere. For reference purpose, it will easy. SICK is one of the transaction code. After your installation, after your upgrade, we need to check SICK transaction. What SICK will do? SICK will do the installation check. It will check whether any inconsistency is there, any installation errors are there, then it will show the errors here. If there is no errors, then you have installed successfully, you have upgraded successfully. Got my point? SICK T code? Yes. This is the main important T code. Immediately we need to check this T code, SICK T code. Right? Yeah. Now, and we will do one thing. We will put SGen. Okay, we will talk about SGen. Okay, because once SGen is completed, then tomorrow onwards our SAP will run fast. Okay, what is SGen? We'll talk about the SGen. Before talking about SGen, okay, we will see what is the system and status. This is main important. Go to the system menu and status. Did we discuss this system status? How can we differentiate what is dynamic profile and what is static profile? Good question. Bala? You have a earphones, my headphones, mic? No. Then you listen only, right? Okay, okay, no problem. Okay, okay. Nothing. See, I will not see the chart, right? So that's why. Okay. No problem. Buy one headphones. Okay. Then we can talk it. We can talk here. And what is the difference between dynamic profile and static profile? We discussed, right? Static profile, what is the use? Dynamic profile, what is the use?
Yeah, to change
So,
any settings, we need to restart for a static profile, and no need to restart for dynamic profile changes.
what restart? What restart? You need to tell that answer properly. Restart your SAP.
Yeah.
For static profile, you require a restart your SAP. For dynamic profile, you need not require a restart of SAP, right?
Yes, sir.
And SAP restart is mandatory, is not a mandatory of database restart, okay?
Okay.
Because these profile parameters are related to only SAP.
Okay.
Got it?
Got it.
So SAP application, if I restart it, then it's enough. No need to restart a database. Okay. And whenever you are changing your profile parameter, I said one pop-up message will come up, right?
Yeah.
One pop-up message will appear. What is the pop-up message?
If you do any changes, you
It
need
will
to.
tell you, I have changed. I have changed one profile. I have saved that profile. Whenever you save that profile, it will give you one pop-up message. That pop-up message will contain, if this profile needs to be affected, then you need to take a SAP restart.
Okay.
So that profiles, we call it as a static profiles. But my point, one of the dynamic profile, I will tell you, timeout. Timeout is a dynamic profile.
So this is the only one difference, start
Timeout.
profile and dynamic profile.
Sorry?
This is the only one difference, restarting of SAP between static and dynamic profile.
This is the main difference. This is the main difference. See, as per my requirement, as per my client requirement, I have changed one profile name, profile value.
Yeah.
I have changed one profile value. Okay, if that profile value, if while you are changing, it should be affect to my SAP system, right?
Yeah.
That's why I'm changing. If it is required to affect, then you need to restart your SAP. What you will do? You will send an email to client. I have changed so and so profile, so and so value. This should be affect after restarting SAP only. Please give me a downtime to restart my SAP. Client will check and client will give you a downtime. Then you can take a restart of SAP. When you are taking a restart, no need to take a database restart. You can take a SAP restart only, because these profiles are related to my SAP application only, not database layer. These are not database parameters. These are SAP parameters only. So take SAP restart only.
Okay.
Timeout. What timeout? Which timeout? My dialog work process timeout. Dialog work process timeout. Did you get any idea about this line? Dialog work process timeout. Did you get any idea? Dialog work process timeout. What is mean by dialog work process timeout?
Yeah, once that timeout is finished, it automatically that task goes to background job.
No, not background job. By default, every dialog work process will have some time limit. Okay, that is in seconds. We will see that. Okay, if the time has been reached, then you will receive timeout dump. Timeout dump. then you will receive one pop-up message. What is the pop-up message? The dialog process time reached. So log off. Your work will be kicked off. Okay? Means your dialog work process will be log off. Got my point?
Yeah.
For example, see, dialog work process time limit is, for example, time limit is 600 seconds. What is mean by 600 seconds? How many minutes?
10 minutes.
600 by 60. So 10 minutes, right? So 10 minutes is my dialog work process run limit, time limit. For example, I have executed a report. Executed a report in front end. What does mean by front end? Means dialog mode, right?
Yeah.
So if it is cross 10 minutes, 10 minutes is completed, then what will happen? My report will not execute. After 10 minutes, okay, you will get one pop-up message. Time limit has been exceeded. So if you see in dumps, all dumps we can see in transaction code ST22. Right? ST22T code. ST22T code, all the ABAP dumps we can check. ABAP dumps. What is mean by dump?
Error.
Nothing but error. Any program errors, technical errors, logical errors, all type of errors. It will throw you a dump. If you see in ST22, you will get a timeout dump. Okay? So to achieve this, what I need to do? I need to increase my time limit, right? So
Yeah.
this time limit I can increase. What is my default 600 seconds, right? So this I can increase it to 120 seconds. Then my program will execute successfully within the time limit. This is a dynamic parameter.
We have to reduce the
This
time
will
limit.
affect, no, increase. Oh, 120, yeah, okay. 1000 seconds. 1000 seconds. Okay? And for example, if my user said, I don't know the time limit, how much time it will take to run this report. Right?
Yeah.
Got my point? For example, my user said, I'm running a report. If you ask how much time it will take, some reports they know. Every time it will run maximum 15 minutes only, sir. Now it is not running, it is taking a 20 minutes now, because maybe the process inputs may be changed, process varies, like inputs are different or dates are different, data fetching is maybe different, right? So that's why this year it is taking a more time. So that time you don't know how much time it is going to execute. Then what I need to do is I need to do my dialog work process time limit should be infinite.
Yeah, but dispatcher will assign to work process. No, Ramu. Once it is from dialog, so
Yes.
dispatcher. Yeah.
Dispatcher will assign that. That's the job of dispatcher. Now
Yeah.
actual program is running by my dialog work process, right?
Yeah.
Front end reports.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
front-end executions will be done by my dialog work process, but my dialog work process is running, is fetching the data from 10 minutes onward, from the last since 10 minutes. But my time limit is only 10 minutes only. If it is exist, if it is crossed, then time limit, timeout dump will be occur, right?
Yeah.
So to achieve this, if user said how much time is not, I don't know how much time it will take to run this report. Then my thinking is my dialog work process should be a unlimited. Time limit should be unlimited, right?
Okay.
If I given unlimited time, then the program will run daily, days, weeks, months. Correct?
Yeah.
So to give unlimited, okay, then the value should be 0. The time limit value should be 0. If you given a 0, 0 means it's an unlimited time.
Yeah.
Got
Okay.
my point?
Yeah. Generally,
Okay.
we use,
Tell me.
in such cases we need to give 0.
Yes, definitely. Depends on the requirement. If it is a very urgent requirement, okay, then we need to give a 0. But it is not a suggestible. This we will discuss in daily health check activities, in our production support activities. Okay.
Okay.
So
So
SICK. See here, still compiling.
we will also come to know
Sorry?
among 10 dialogues which dialogue timeout needs to be increased.
Good question. See, I have 10 dialog work process, right?
Yeah.
What is your value? Profile value, profile name, parameter name, dialog work process, runtime, right?
Yeah.
So whenever, see, all the profile, my dialog work process, I have only one profile name with the time limit.
Okay.
So if you change it, then it will affect all my dialog work processes.
Okay.
Got my point?
Yeah. That is in start profile, right?
Instance profile.
Okay.
Instance profile. System status. See this information. All information will be there. What are the information? SAP layer information, database layer information, operating system layer information. We can see in system status. Here SAP system data. SAP NetWave 2004S. That is my version. Installation number is not generated yet. And license expiry, when the license has been expired, May 13. And the Unicode system, this is a Unicode system, yes, means this is Unicode system. What is my database? MS SQL Server, release, what is my SID, what is my host, who are the owner? Owner is nothing but a schema. This is schema, schema is DEV. This is ABAP schema. ABAP schema ID is DEV. ABAP schema owner. And operating system details. Windows NT. What is the type? What is the server name? What is the platform? Okay. If you click here, component information. See here. What are the components has been installed? SAP ABA. What is meant by SAP ABA? Is nothing but a ABAP. What is SAP _ BAS SAS? This is a basis component. What is PI basis? PI basis is one of the component. And SAP BW. What is my release? Release is nothing but version 700, 2005, 700. Level means patch level. Release means version, level means patch level, and this is a component naming convention. Okay, SAP KA 70014 is my component naming convention of my ABAP. This is my component naming convention for basis. This is my component naming convention for PI basis. This is my component conversion for SAP BW. Okay, we will discuss in depth next classes. Okay, and if you click here, other kernel information. If you click here, then here I can see my kernel release. What is my kernel? 720. Okay, and support package level means my patch level. What is my patch level? 300. Yesterday I told you, right, from SAP level also we can check our kernel. From operating system level also we can check our kernel, right?
Yeah.
How can we check at operating system level? What is the command?
This plus work.
This
We
plus
need to
work.
navigate the PM AMD directory.
Not AMD. You can say kernel directory.
Yeah.
Kernel directory in this place work exe file. You can check the properties in the details. You can cross check, but don't tell that. What they ask interview what they ask how can I cross check my kernel version in SAP in operating system level. Tell this plus word command.
Okay.
Okay, this plus word command, or in SAP level go to system status. You can cross check here, right?
Yeah.
So now what we'll do is we will put sgen, otherwise our SAP will slow. /n sgen. Sgen is a T code. Sgen is a T code.
What is
See
slash
what is sgen.
EX?
Someone said yes. We discussed /n, /o, /x. /n in the sense, whenever you are executing a T code with /n, it will execute the T code, whatever T code you are executing, it will open the new program in the same session. New screen will be opened in the same session only. See, this is my one session, right?
Yeah.
In this session, I am opening so many screens. First, I open SICK screen. See,
Yeah.
simply you are executing a T code, but back end what happening? The T code is related to some program screens, right?
Yeah.
So it will call that program, it will execute that program, it will show that screen to you whenever you executed T code. Got it?
Yeah.
So /n means in the same session you will see the new screen, new program. See, I executed sgen /n sgen. So in the same session I got a sgen program screen, right?
Yeah.
For example, if you use a /o before the T code, for example, SICK I executed. Okay?
Yeah.
/o means it will open a new session, one more session. Okay, it will open another session with that screen, with that program.
Okay.
So if I use /o, then how many sessions I have right now? Active sessions? 2, right?
Yeah.
So that is the use of /o. See here, DEV2 means this is my second session. So see here, I have 2 sessions, right? One is a sgen. Sgen is nothing but a load generator. This is sgen session. This is initial consistency check. Initial consistency check is nothing but my SICK code. Okay?
Okay.
Why? Because what is the use of /o? If I want to execute one program here, if I want to execute another program, then I can use a /o, right? Means parallelly I can execute the programs. Got it?
Okay.
For that purpose, /o will use.
How many
And
sessions?
/ex. Yeah, I will tell you. /ex is nothing but log off. Directly you can log off from your SAP system. Okay? So if you some users are opening multiple sessions /o/o/o/o, but unnecessarily sessions are opened, but those are not working properly. Those are not using properly, right?
Yeah.
If whenever the sessions are opened, every session will assign some memory, right?
Yeah.
So to achieve this, if everyone is opening /o/o/o/o, what will happen? My system will hang, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So to achieve this, what we need to do is, there is one profile parameter. Okay, the profile parameter, how many sessions I can open. Okay, you can maintain the profile parameter value. If you're given a value 3 means I can maintain the sessions 3 maximum only. If I'm trying to open a fourth session, it will not open. It will give you sessions reached limit. Sessions you reach a limit, so you cannot open. That one pop-up message will appear. Got my point?
Yeah.
So we will put SGen. What is SGen? In German, in general terminology, we call it as a compilation. Okay? Because this is my fresh installation. In fresh installation, I have all my programs, coding, screens, right? I have my all programs, screens, coding has been freshly installed. Whenever you are calling any screen, any program, how I can call? Using a transaction code, right? Using a T code, I can call the programs, screens, and all the things. So whenever you're calling first time, what we'll do is the program will be compiled first. The program will be compiled first. After compilation, it will execute. Got my point?
Yeah.
Once the execute is completed, then only the screen will be displayed to you. So to compilation and execution, it is taking time. That's why it is showing here compile, compile, compile whenever you're executing a T code. Got my point?
Yeah.
So every time whenever you are calling a new programs, new screens, every time it will compile the program, and after compilation it will execute the program. After execution it will display the output to you. For this it will take a lot of time. So to achieve that, to avoid that every time compilation, we need to run SGen. SGen is a load generator. Why? Because whenever you run SGen, what are the programs? All programs, all screens, all my coding, what are the came from installation, all will be compiled at one time. Okay?
Yeah.
All
This
will
we,
be compiled at one time, and whenever your SGen is completed, the compilation is completed, whenever you calling a T code next time, it will not compile again. It will directly execute the screen and it will give you the output display to you. Got my point?
yeah, this one we have to do for a fresh installation.
Fresh installation, if you've done any stack upgrades, if you've done any upgrades, okay, for that you need to do SGen. This is one of the most mandatory post step.
Okay.
SGen. SGen is nothing but a load generator. So that's why we will put this. It will take time because there are so many programs, screens needs to be compiled. So it will take a time. So that's why we will put this. And once this completed in successfully, okay, then our T codes will. See, in SGen so many options are there. We will discuss in later. Okay, generate all objects. Regenerate after system upgrade. I will select all objects. All objects is nothing but all components. All components is nothing but we have seen, right? These are the components are installed, right? So
Yeah.
these components related program screens will be compiled. Okay, select all. I need to execute all. Go to continue.
When we do /0, sessions will get open and those sessions will assign to dialog process.
Not /0. That is /o. O. Not
/o.
zero. Tell me.
So all the sessions will be assigned to each dialog process.
Each dialog process means if you're not doing any work, if you're not doing any work, just it will assign, but it will not assign any resources, memories, anything.
Got it.
Okay, but it will assign a dialog work process.
Got it.
This is my instance. Server means this is my instance. Okay. Continue. Oh my God, 8 o'clock. 8:30 class. Continue.
Till 8:30, Mr. Ramu, today's session.
No, yeah, now we will close it because 8:30 I have a classroom training. I need to go to institute.
Okay, okay. How far it is?
Half an hour journey.
Oh,
First of all, I need to fresh. So morning I will not fresh because 5:45, 5:50 I will wake up, right? So immediately I will
okay.
open my laptop and everything. Today the meeting ID has been changed, and so that's why Jagdish has been started a new session.
Okay, okay.
That's why it took time today actually.
Okay.
Tomorrow also same time, 6 o'clock.
Yeah. Sorry, today, right?
I think we have office.
Yeah, I'm having office today. Yeah.
Tomorrow our morning class same time 6 a.m.
Yeah. Okay, okay. Please ping me once if you get any free time, Mr. Ramu.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So what about rest of people? What is Unicode? Unicode we'll discuss in depth later, but I will. Unicode system is nothing but my SAP system can support any language. What are the languages my developed? Those languages it can support. If the programs are developed in English, Japanese, Chinese, Arabic, so my SAP can support any language. The system we call it as a Unicode system. Non-Unicode system means it will not support it. Okay, so we will discuss in depth in the next classes. So we have some code pages are there. Okay, we need to check whether my system is Unicode or not. How can you check? In system status you can check. If it is Unicode, it will, the option is yes, the value is should be yes. Just now we have seen, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So if it is non-Unicode, then Unicode equals to no. Okay, and we can convert a non-Unicode system to Unicode system. We can convert that also. That is also one of the tasks. Conversion of Unicode, the conversion of non-Unicode to Unicode.
So the
Actually, this non Unicode to Unicode, this work recently.
okay.
Okay, this work, now I am working on that conversion, Unicode conversion.
Okay.
Just I have started the preparation steps and all.
Okay. In real time, normally it will be Unicode only, no?
Yeah, all systems are Unicode only. Non-Unicode system very rare. Old systems are, if you have old systems, then non-Unicode. See,
Okay.
still one of my client having a non-Unicode system. Now he wants a conversion, non-Unicode to Unicode. Have you got idea, Bala? Okay. Who is this waiting for name? Bala Hari Muzaid. I think this is Rajesh, I think. Waiting for name. So what is the plans, Bala? Sunday plans? Rajesh, Hari, Muzaid anyway office.
Yeah.
Already off day gone.
No Sunday, no Sunday plans?
Already off day gone. No?
Half day. Okay, we have half day. The second part is important, right? The second half day is important.
Now here summer started.
Hmm. Here also in Hyderabad 40, 41, 42 the temperature. In
Oh.
Hyderabad the temperature is 42.
Wow.
Yesterday I came out, I went to out, right?
Yeah.
It's very horrible.
Oh, 42.
At RKB some food festival is going on too. So,
Oh, food festival. Okay, okay, great. Prison break session 4. What is this, sir? Movie? Oh, TV program. Okay, okay. See here. Now we will schedule this report in background mode. Okay. See, start directly in background. We will schedule this report in background mode. See how many objects it find out. 59,854 objects needs to be compiled now. Once these objects are compiled, whenever after compilation, after successfully completion of load generator, whenever I execute a T code, immediately you will get an input, means display. Immediately you will get an output. No need a compilation again. Okay. Now we are scheduling this job in background mode. In background mode means which work process will handle now?
Background work process.
So now background work process will handle this job, this report. Now background work process will execute this report. See here, the generation job was successfully scheduled or started. Just refresh here.
So we can see in MMC also, I think background will be running.
No, from SAP level we can check here only.
Okay.
No need to go to MMC. SAP level we can cross check whether my background job started or not. What is the status of my background job? We can see. We will see that.
Okay.
It is running very slow. So to
Suppose
see that background jobs, running or cancelled, okay, what is the status of my background job? The T code is SM37. SM37. Yeah, tell me.
when we do kernel upgrade, suppose we have downtime like 2 hours. In the 2 hours, all
Okay.
these HN objects we need to schedule as background job. And after finishing of all these background jobs only, we have to announce the uptime resumption service, or we can directly assign the resumption of services after 2 hours.
Good question. Actually, when you are doing a kernel patch upgrade, only patch upgrade. For example, in 700, 100 is my patch upgrade, patch level. I'm going 700, 100 to 300. Okay. When you are doing a patch upgrade in the same version, no need the run HN.
Okay.
Okay. And HN is a, how we can call, online program. Means my users can use my server parallelly. SN also can run. There is no issues, but server may be slow because the SN what will do, it will compile the objects. So that's why my server will be slow. So whenever my activities are completed, my post activities are completed, that's why the HN task will be run the last post step. Okay.
Okay.
First, in upgrade or installation, first what we need to do is we need to compare, we need to complete what are the important post steps are there. We need to complete that. After that, the last post step is SGen only. Why? Because just we put the SGen in background mode, just we send a message to client. All the post steps are completed successfully. SGen is running now.
Okay.
Okay, and it means my system is ready to use, but my system will act slow. Why? Because SN is running. So I can inform activities are completed, system is up and running, but SN is running right now. So system will slow. I will let you know once SN is completed. Got my point?
Got it. So as
See
long
how
as
many
we are in
objects?
700 version, as long as we are in 700
Uh,
version, we no need to run the SGen, right?
If you are doing a only patch level, no need SGen. If you are doing a version upgrade, 700 to 720, 721, then you need to do a SGen.
Okay, got it.
/n SM37.
Yes.
SM37, right? To see my background jobs status.
So that will be very rare, I think, no? Once in a year like that.
What one? What is that?
Version upgrade. Only we get a release, then only we will do.
Oh, yes, correct. Not once in a year. We can't say time limit. Depends on the requirement.
Okay.
See here. We will discuss in background jobs topic. Okay. Just we will execute this.
Ramu sir, from today onwards, we can connect this server, right? For practicing and all.
You can do, but after SN completion, do better to do connect. Okay. So see how slow it is running. After SN, you can connect. But before that, first do installation. Whenever you are doing installation, take a screenshot and prepare a document yourself. Okay, take a clean screenshots. Okay, take a full screenshots. Don't take a small screenshots. Only the line what you are selecting. Don't take that type of screenshots. Okay, take a full screenshot of your SAP INSC tool and write at least one line about that screen. What is it is asking, and read the information in SAP INSC what it is saying, what it is asking. Read that information carefully and understand and write at least one line in your document. Okay?
Yeah, his installation will be already done in the server, no? We have to uninstall that one.
Yeah, if you want, you can uninstall, or if you, I think you will get one more server, I think.
Okay, and these documents and videos.
Today I will ask to Ramya ma'am to share the documents, all the documents to you.
Okay. Is there any basic certification can we do after this training course, Mr. Ramu?
There is no basic certifications actually. There are a lot of topics we have for certifications like NetWeaver, OSDB migration, Solution Manager, HANA, like that. There is no basic certifications. Okay. First you need to select which topic I want to do a certification. In that topic you need to prepare, you need to download the required documents from service marketplace and you need to prepare. Okay, and if you select any one topic, there are two levels of certifications are there. One is you said na basic level, another one is to high level. There are two types of certifications will be there.
Okay.
Once you have done certification, you will get a yes user ID
Okay.
from SAP and you will get one certificate from SAP.
Okay. Which one is yours, Mr. Ramu?
Mine is SAP NetWeaver 7.0 Oracle Database Linux operating system.
Okay.
I've done long back.
Okay.
2007 or 8 I have done. 2008 I think.
Okay.
It is taking time here. It will execute and tomorrow we will see.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, fine. Bye everyone.
Okay.
Have a nice day. Yep, bye.
Bye.